What's up, my good people? I was watching this video, it popped up in my feed, and as I was watching it, I was like, man, I need to do a video on this because it just opens up a bigger dialogue and it highlights a massive problem in policing. Let's go ahead and start watching the video. I'm gonna be pausing for some comments. I don't want to hear no crying about it in the comment section. Let's go.
As we continue our community connection in Haines City tonight, we are not only looking at what makes this area unique, we're also sharing the stories that matter to this community. And earlier today, 10 Investigates has a new story for you that they've been putting together. New at 6, they've uncovered information about a Haines City police officer accused and cleared of excessive force. Now, this is a situation our team has been keeping an eye on.
Hold on, homie. That dude you're throwing to the ground looks like my homie into film. You best stop beating on my homie like that.
For more than a year. 10 Investigates Jenna Bourne found out that the officer resigned from his last law enforcement job after being accused of lying to his supervisor.
Damn, he's trying to break his arm.
That agency's records say his superiors would have fired him if he hadn't resigned first. We found out Haines City Police knew about it and hired him anyway.
Yup.
Haines City Police records say this all started with a traffic stop over dark window tint.
Get on the ground. Can you tell me for what? Get on the ground. Can you tell me for what? Arrest now. For what?
Hands like that. Oh! Hands like that. No! Now, put your hands like that now. Oh! Put your hands on your back.
Oh, you just...
Put your hands on your back now. Oh! Put your hands on your
serious?
The videos appear to show Officer Justin Vasquez striking Miranda Brundage III,
Oh! Stop! Stop! Wait!
throwing him onto the hood of a hot car and holding him down. Police records say Brundage resisted arrest and was legally carrying a concealed gun.
Who dropped the ball?
Wait a minute. How is that resisting an illegal arrest? Why was he under arrest? For tinted windows? Man.
Activists asked the police department to fire Vasquez. They didn't. Nearly a year later, 10 Tampa Bay told you the police department issued what they called a letter of retraining, a memo pointing out what he could have done differently. But it exonerated him from complaints about competency and improper conduct.
I don't see that this was handled properly. I think there should have been another level of discipline for this officer.
10 Investigates has now learned Officer Vasquez made an abrupt exit from his last law enforcement job. Polk County Sheriff's Office records show he resigned from that agency in 2018.
Wait a minute. Polk County, where Sheriff Grady Judd paints this picture of his department being perfect? The same Sheriff Grady Judd who goes viral, who was just on Valuetainment with Patrick Bet-David, acting like he's condemning the actions of Officer Sean Grayson, the one that was arrested for killing Sonia Massey. He paints this picture of himself being such a great sheriff, but clearly he does what every other law enforcement agency does. He allows bad cops to resign. He allowed this bad cop to resign. Deputy Sheriff Vasquez submitted his notice of resignation effective December 26, 2018. He had not resigned, I would have dismissed Deputy Sheriff Vasquez from employment with the Polk County Sheriff's Office. I have read all associated memorandums and paperwork involving former Deputy Sheriff Justin Vasquez. After reviewing the official documentation, the following general orders were violated. General Order 261E, untruthfulness. General Order 261E, 11A, competency, job knowledge, and proficiency. So they allow bad cops to go from one department to another. This happens over and over and over again. And that's why Sonia Massey is dead. That's why Sean Grayson was. And it's just not a crack. It's a big, fat, giant loophole that allows bad cops to go from one department to another. They don't sneak through the cracks like they try to say. They don't sneak through the cracks. There's a massive and giant loophole. The police unions, Sheriff Grady Judd, and many other departments out there, they allow bad cops to resign. And that's why, because he resigned, he was allowed to go work at another department.
After they told him about an internal investigation into his actions. That investigation ultimately found Vasquez disobeyed his direct supervisor's orders to fill out paperwork about money seized during a search warrant, then lied about it. This letter of resignation says, "I have made some personal decisions and I will be resigning from the agency." His superiors wrote they would have fired him if he hadn't resigned first. And this handwritten note says he is not eligible.
You know what's crazy about what she just said? In the Patrick Bet-David interview, he admits to it. Sheriff Grady Judd admits to getting rid of bad cops by forcing them to resign or they will get fired. Not one person that I seen in Valuetainment's comment section pointed that out. We know what to look for.
For rehire. 2 years later, in 2020, Vasquez applied to the Haines City Police Department. His job application shows he told them he had resigned after allegations of misconduct. We checked with the Polk County Sheriff's Office, and this form confirms Haines City Police reviewed Vasquez's disciplinary file after he applied, so they knew about his history. We requested interviews with Vasquez to get his side of the story, and with Police Chief Greg Gorick about why Haines City Police hired someone with a documented history of lying, and who's not eligible for rehire at another agency. The city spokesperson told us neither were available for an interview, but sent us emailed statements from Deputy City Manager Lloyd Stewart. He said, in part, during our hiring process, Vasquez provided an explanation to us regarding his departure from his previous agency, which, had it been provided at the time of the investigation, in our assessment, may have mitigated the allegations and resulted in a different outcome. The state attorney's office confirmed that the circumstances that led up to Vasquez's decision to resign did not and would not negatively affect their ability to prosecute future investigations.
Vasquez was recently transferred from an officer to a detective position.
Wow.
A spokesperson for Haines City Police tells us this was not a promotion and it did not come with a salary increase. Reporting in Haines City, Jenna Bourne, 10 Investigates.
And the deputy city manager also sent us a message for community activists who were unhappy with the level of discipline received after the arrest that you saw on video.
What we're gonna do is provide phone numbers, names, that way you guys can redress your grievances. You know, one of the things that I've noticed about a lot of these news agencies is that they have their people that go in there and do records requests and demand body cam footage and stuff like that, or at least ask for it. They ask for interviews and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I think some of these news agencies should show the process of that, right? I think more people would be interested and there would be more accountability. Maybe they don't do that kind of stuff because it just helps their competitors, but I think that one of the things that is most important in police and government accountability is not the competition factor, because there's corruption everywhere. I think it's more along the lines of making sure that your community in your area doesn't have bad actors in government. And I think that's why it's important for us to know how to do these types of things. Nobody wants to teach you their practice, right? But one of the things that we do different that they don't is, and don't get me wrong folks, a lot of us, a lot of auditors and channels, a lot of us do records requests. A lot of us do know how to demand records and file lawsuits when we don't get those records. I myself am learning every single day, and just so you know, when I started this, I didn't know absolutely anything about police accountability. I've been learning and learning and learning. I read your comments, I respond to your comments. I appreciate all you guys, your emails and the videos you guys send me. So I'm trying to get better at this and learn more, and I'm doing that. Even today I'm learning of how to get more records requests, what to ask for, how to ask for them, what building, what installation to go to demand a certain record. Case laws. Law is a very difficult thing to learn, but we can all start somewhere, and I believe that learning and understanding law, before you do that, you should know and understand what your natural rights are, because then you can compute it, right? Then you can add it all up. Hey, my natural rights right here, their ordinance or whatever they create, their policy ordinance, their new laws that they create, it goes against my natural rights, which are, you know, they're enumerated in the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, and the amendments. So you can compare it and see and pinpoint exactly where government is overstepping that boundary, right? Because even in the 9th Amendment, it basically says that we have rights that are not enumerated in the first 8 amendments. What that means is we may even have rights that have never even been discussed. How important is that? Because what's not forbidden is allowed. So, like I was saying, cops like this, they don't slip through the cracks. They have a giant loophole that allows them to go from department to department. department. And I think that massive problem, it starts with deputies and chiefs and policies that allow bad cops to resign. We need to stop this immediately, because that is what killed Sonia Massey. They let a bad cop go through the loophole. They not only let him go, they fucking escorted him through that loophole. That's how it is, folks. There is no slipping through the cracks. They escort you through that loophole. They allow you, and they kind of let you know, as a matter of fact. So, and they're doing this, and cops understand this pattern. They know they can be complete douchebags and not slip through the cracks, but be escorted through that loophole. Hope it's making sense what I'm saying, folks. Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna go ahead and include the information. Like I said, that's one of the things that we do different than mainstream media, is we let you know where to go and make these complaints. And one of the best things about these YouTube videos, whereas on mainstream they'll show it like once or twice and then the story is swept under the rug. Not here. Our videos stay so that people can continue to watch. So when we add and include phone numbers, they will continue to get complaints. That's badass. Seriously badass. And with that being said, see you guys on the next one. Peace.